Hello, this is Kim Chapman with Sheen Talk Live in Atlanta.
And Sammy Hayes with Sheen Magazine for Sheen Talk Live.
And we're at Trilogy Cigar Lounge with Henry Stokes.
Yes. Mr. Stokes.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm well. How are
It's
you?
amazing to be here. I smell and feel the aroma of cigars.
Right.
I know I have so many friends who are cigar smokers, but I've never met a doctor of cigars.
Doctor cigar.
Like he's been educated. He researches cigars, so I'm excited to be here.
So where did you go to do that?
Well, I mean,
As you light it up.
there's tons of places, but I actually took a test with Tobacco University to become a tobacconist. Because with cigars, again, you're going to get into so many different flavor profiles from the tobacco. Tobacco grown in different regions are going to have different properties.
Right.
And so for me, as an owner of a cigar lounge, for me to be able to properly speak to my customer to tell you, hey, this cigar goes well with this meal or with this drink. I need to understand each type of tobacco that could be in that cigar. And so all those things make sense. And I wanted to be able to educate myself so I can then turn around and educate the customer,
That's all right. I know we were speaking earlier about the Humidor, and I was riding down here, and I was listening to Steve Harvey, and they were suggesting, because it's his birthday.
Yes, mine is coming around the corner, but
Yes, it is. But anyway, they were saying that he should get a used Humidor, and he was like, no, not.
Brand
new. You were telling me that you don't get used Humidors.
No, because, you never know how that person who had the Humidor before you treated that Humidor. Humidors need to be kept at a certain temperature and certain percentage of humidity at all times.
I just didn't really realize that cigars were that much of importance to a person.
Right.
I thought it was just like a pastime, but it seemed to be a real investment.
It really is. It's no different than the person who invests in wine. So I would look, kind of the same way. A cigar can appreciate in value if you properly store the cigar. So with the Humidor, if it's below 64% humidity or higher than 72%, a lot of changes can happen to the cigar. If it's too low, it'll dry out. If it's too humid, it'll actually absorb too much moisture and expand and split the tobacco. So all those things make sense, and all those things are extremely important in the way you are treating your humidor and caring for your cigars. You're talking about something you're investing a lot of money into. You're talking, a box of cigars can range you anywhere from a couple $100s and well into the thousands.
Thousands of dollars for one cigar that you can light up.
Yes, thousands. And not saying that because it's more expensive, it's a better cigar, but there are cigars out there that I've seen go on the market for $50,000, $100,000 for single
and
cigars.
They light them up, put them on fire.
Yeah.
But hey, people like what
you
they
like.
like.
What you like,
Yeah, because women spend money on shoes, Louis Vuitton for thousands of dollars.
You're right.
Men's. So cigars too.
And for a lot of people, they have a lot of sentimental value. I know for me, my dad gave me my first cigar when I turned 16, and my dad was just the coolest guy. He kind of set me down and then gave me a Monte Cristo No. 2. Every year since then, I smoke a Monte Cristo No. 2 on my birthday.
Oh, that's
so for me,
nice.
it's a moment of my childhood, and it's an emotional thing for me. And a lot of people can say that same thing. I know a lot of guys who will say, well, their grandfather smoked cigars, and the smell of the tobacco remind them of good times with their granddad.
Oh, wow.
So I don't mind investing in my memories.
So now, what is that you're smoking now?
So what I'm smoking is one of my favorite cigars. So it's the JSK White Label. A good friend of mine. This guy has literally exploded in the cigar world. Sold about 65,000 boxes just on Facebook.
Wow.
And it's one of those new cigars. Everyone doesn't know about it, but for me, I like to smoke everything from the whole range of the stuff that that's in the magazines, the stuff that you haven't seen, and hands down, this is the most amazing cigar I've smoked in the last few years. So I'm always making my way around to this JSK.
I know I have been around so many people that smoke cigars, and the cigar you're smoking now is very mild. I've been with someone that is smoking cigars, and it's like, oh,
Whoa.
God, this is loud. Make my heart go boom boom.
Right. That's what I was gonna ask.
But
like,
this one is not. This one is very mild and sweet.
Yeah,
Am I right?
It's not sweet. It's definitely not
No?
sweet. Now this cigar, although it's kind of smells mild.
Yeah.
So cigars are made up of filler tobacco, binder tobacco, and wrapper tobacco. So this wrappers are traditionally, a Connecticut wrapper, what is normally would be considered a milder cigar, but the tobacco inside is actually full. So this is one of those cigars that kind of trick you. You grab them like, oh, okay, that's gonna be a mild cigar. Then you get into it, and it's full of flavor. And it's grown down in Nicaragua. So Nicaragua tobacco, the soil is more volcanic, so you're gonna get a richer tobacco. So I prefer Nicaraguan tobacco over anything. So this cigar for me is just perfect. It's not too strong, but again, it's not so weak that.
And it's almost
like
smokeless too. I've been around them where they just smoke up the room.
You coughing and everything.
So is that a difference too? Like because of the smoke, like is it to do with the tobacco or?
And it has a lot to do with the way the cigars roll. If it's
okay.
too tight, if it's too much tobacco in it, like that, how they roll it to create all so much smoke from the cigar.
Okay.
Wow, you make cigars sound like an art.
They are. It's art. It's an art. You realize that it takes about 2 years and 250 people to produce a cigar. You talking about from the seed to the time it reached the retail? There's tons of work that goes into cigars.
So I see you have samples here.
Yeah.
What classifies if I am a beginner,
right,
cigar smoker? Mm-hmm. Where do I start?
So as a beginner cigar smoker, I'm always recommend you start with something milder, something like people often say want to go with a flavored cigar, but me, I prefer someone to actually smoke a traditional cigar. So I would start with something mild and work your way up. Grow your palate from there. Because again, cigars the spectrum is so vast that every single cigar is going to taste totally different.
Wow.
So I would start with something mild and then kind of work my way up there and really try to teach you that, okay, you're going to smoke this mild cigar and try it with this cocktail or try it with this meal to really understand how to experience those flavors.
So what do you have here on the
So
table?
here we have a Ashton VSG, which Ashton is one of those, higher end, one of those cigars that kind of like a status statement cigar. It's one of those cigars that, it's going to be in the $20 range, and you get an Ashton and guys feel a little special about themselves. The Arturo Fuente, their family, they started their factory. They were down in Tampa. The factory burned, and they moved their production to Dominican Republic. They make some of the most amazing cigars on the planet. They make a cigar called the Opus X, and it's one of the sought after cigars in the world.
Really?
It's extremely hard to get.
Why?
Well, they kind of, only make but so many, they might just make 500 boxes, and that'll be it for that whole entire line. So it's one of the things that's limited production, and it's just really, really good tobacco. And so tobacco that they're aging for years, so it's kind of difficult to release. Well, not difficult, but, they release them slowly, and it's just one of those cigars that when you can get your hands on that, because it's such high-end, such premium tobacco, that is just amazing smoke.
And so that will range in what type of price range?
Fuentes, you're talking about anywhere from in the 20s upwards to 45, $30 depending.
So now, do they put the tip on there like that to savor the tobacco?
Actually, that's just a size. So that's just the perfecto size. So that's just a rolling technique.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so each cigar is going to be, depends on the cigar, because that same cigar, they make it in a different size. So it just depends on, that particular size they wanted to go with for that cigar.
Got it.
Yeah. So how do you like cigars from Cuba?
Cuba. Everyone always asks about Cuba. Personally, I enjoy Cuban cigars, but I do not believe that Cuban cigars are the best cigars in the world. I think cigars are subjective to your palate.
I got you.
Just like you might love steak, I don't like red meat at all. And so, I can care less about what cut of steak they have. It doesn't matter to me.
We on the same page with that.
But I think the allure of Cuban cigars has much more to do with the fact that you can't have them versus the fact that they're just amazing.
Okay.
I smoked Cuban cigars, and then I smoked a cigar from Nicaragua and felt like that cigar was better and a lot cheaper.
Wow.
So I'm excited about the embargo being lifted and people being able to now experience it.
Yeah.
A couple of reasons. One, so people can stop asking me about them, and two, so people can really understand that it's still tobacco, and it depends on who you are.
Yeah.
And your taste buds.
And so I see you got your cutter. Is that what?
Yeah.
Did I use the right term?
This is my cutter. So this is the Trilogy cutter. So it's a triple blade guillotine cutter. And you won't find this cutter in many places.
Why?
But this is, so we kind of source these cutters for here. I've seen a few people who found the place I found these from. But yeah, you won't see this cutter. You'll normally see something a little simpler. But this is just my favorite cutter, man.
So that's the Trilogy cutter.
Yeah, it's a triple blade.
The triple blade.
Yeah.
And how much would something like that cost?
A cutter like that will run you about $60.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
So I see you're really dressed very debonair.
Thank you.
To be in the cigar lounge with the hat. So to me, it feels like even when I walked in here, although it said "Welcome to the Zoo," this seemed to be a place. It's a lifestyle.
Right.
And you'll want to wear a smoker's jacket or some velvet slipper. You just seem like, even though you're going to smoke a cigar, you want to be sharp.
Well, I tell people all the time, cigars are much more than something to smoke. It is a lifestyle. From the way you dress, what you drink, the way you carry yourself, the company you keep. It's a total lifestyle. Like everything I have on, actually, we make custom suits. So this is a product of our own line. We have a smokers club that we have here. That's a membership club. As a matter of fact, everyone who's in the smokers club get a custom velvet smoking jacket, get a custom pair of velvet slippers, and a year subscription to my cigar service.
So how do you become a member?
Well, you'll have to come in and we sit you down, have a conversation.
Wow.
Kind of interview you first, make sure that you're of quality and of caliber that we would like to be a part of the membership.
So this is a member only club.
Yeah, it's a members only club. It's a true members only club.
I like it.
Yeah, but cigars, it's a lifestyle, man. Your average guy who smokes a cigar is gonna have a little more refined palate, which means he's gonna have a little more taste. So he's gonna be into a tailor-made suit. He's gonna be into a fine bourbon or a scotch. He's gonna be into those sort of things because of his love for cigars. It kind of translates over to so many other things. So cigars it's a complete lifestyle. Yeah.
Well, this is the first one that I've been in to give me that kind of a lifestyle, because I've been in them where they just wearing shorts and they just came home, got off work and came to the cigar bar and like, give me a burr and let me have a cigar.
And see, and that was the big thing for me.
Give me a burr.
Give me a burr.
A big thing for me was to create that. Like I tell people all the time, this is a lifestyle lounge, not a cigar lounge. A big thing for me was to create that, because when I really got into cigars again, I've always been into fashion since I was a kid. I've always been into, well dressed and, fine foods and those sort of things. So for me, I want to be able to offer that. I want to be able for a person to come in and they can experience the full lifestyle of cigars. I mean, that's even why our name is Trilogy, because it's cigars, food, spirits, so that's our trilogy. And of course our space is a 3-level law. So, but I wanted to be able to show that lifestyle, and I live that lifestyle. Like, I am that lifestyle. Every day, that's who I am. I embody that. And so I wanted to be able to reflect that in the space here, as well as, to my customers.
Now, you're responsible for the design in here, because it's really colorful and it's masculine and colorful and very chic at the same time.
So I went to college for architecture and design at Florida A&M University.
HBCU.
Yeah, all day. So that was something that was always, into me. And when I started designing this space, every cigar lounge I've ever been to, in the States, is typically, brown leather couches and tufted leather and Sports Center on the TV. And I'm like, there's got to be another aesthetic, right? So I wanted to create something that was contemporary, modern, and that also, was inviting to not just men but women as well. I wanted to be able to display that side of cigars, because it's not just for men. Women, there's tons of women who love cigars. We actually do an event that's called She Smokes Too, with 200 women who come out once a month and smoke cigars. So it's not just one of those, it's not a boys club anymore. And at the same time, what's wrong with being in a place that's aesthetically pleasing?
That's
while
true.
you're enjoying your cigar. If I'm going to spend my money somewhere, I also want to enjoy the space. So that was a big part of that design.
So now I'm going to ask you a question. Are the pipe smokers invited? Okay.
Yeah, pipe smoke. As long as you're not smoking cigarettes and Black and Milds and all that.
Just not this type of bar.
It's not that type of place. Yeah, but pipe smokers, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Wow. Awesome. I think this is an amazing space.
So, do you sell tobacco for the top pipe smokers?
I do not sell tobacco.
Okay.
Tobacco. But if you bring your own, you're more than welcome to come in and sit with us and enjoy.
So tell us, when are you open and how can they find more information about Trilogy?
So you can find more information about Trilogy. You can follow us on Instagram at Trilogy ATL or go to our website, trilogycigarlounge.com. We're open Wednesday through Saturday. We open at 5 o'clock every day. We're typically open until the last person finishes smoking. So on the weekends, our hours say 2 a.m., but if we ain't here having a good time, we ain't here having a good time.
There you
so
go.
we'll leave whenever that's over.
Yeah. Got to have a good time.
Exactly. That's the most important thing.
That's what life is about. That's right. Be happy,
Exactly.
be happy, and be happy.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
Be happy and be happy.
Yeah.
If it ain't happy, if it ain't pleasing, it ain't worth it.
It's not worth it at all.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Yes,
Thank you,
Stokes,
guys.
I truly enjoyed it, and I've been enlightened.
I'm happy you having, and thank you guys for having us, and I'm looking forward to being part of your event and bringing this Trilogy experience
Exactly.
to the event.
Yeah, look for Trilogy at Sheen Magazine Legendary Weekend.
Yeah, the Legendary Weekend is going to be fun.
Yeah.
We're going to bring it all out.
Yes, we
Bring it
are.
all out. It's going to be exciting.
It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's been Sheen Talk Live with
Kimberly Chapman
and Sammy Haynes with Mr. Henry Stokes. Has been fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Trilogy Cigar Lounge in Atlanta. Thank you.